Lisa and Marcus got the exact same tax refund, the exact same week. 11 years later, one of them has $19,000. The other has $14,300 less than they started with. I know how that sounds. Let me earn it. That $14,300 less part is the one that trips people up, so hold that thought. We're gonna get there. But first, the week it actually happened. March, 11 years ago, Lisa and Marcus, both 26, both got their refunds within 4 days of each other. $5,000 each. Same amount, down to the dollar, because they'd filed together at the same kitchen table using the same software and compared numbers like it was a competition. Marcus's apartment had a futon he'd been meaning to replace since college. Lisa's place had the same problem, honestly. Mismatched chairs, a coffee table with a wobble she'd been fixing with a folded napkin for 2 years. You know this feeling. Money shows up that doesn't feel like your money, exactly. It feels like a bonus round. Free money rules apply. Marcus spent his on furniture. A real couch, a bed frame, a dining set. $4,600 of the $5,000 gone in one weekend at a sale that had a banner in the window. Lisa opened a Roth IRA that same week and put her $5,000 in.
Here's the part that actually matters, though. Not what they bought, but what happened to the money after. Marcus's furniture is gone now. Not literally, some of it's still in his apartment, but as an asset, it stopped existing almost immediately. According to a 2023 report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics on consumer durable goods, furniture depreciates roughly 60 to 70% of its purchase value within the first 3 years, faster than almost anything else people buy outright. By year 5, most of what Marcus bought was worth less as a resale item than a single month of his rent. Lisa's $5,000 did something different. It sat in an index fund tracking the total U.S. market, and according to NYU Stern's 2023 market return database, that market has averaged 10.1% annually going back to 1928. 10.1% doesn't sound like much when you say it out loud. So try this instead. Imagine handing someone $1 and getting back $1 and a dime every single year without doing anything. That's it. That's the whole mechanism. It just keeps happening year after year, compounding on itself. Quick gut check, because I want you doing this math with me, not just listening to it. If you put $5,000 away today and never touched it again, where do you think it lands in 11 years? Most people guess somewhere around 8,000, 9,000 maybe. That's roughly what simple non-compounding growth would look like. Lisa's actual number, 11 years later, from that single $5,000 and nothing else added. We'll get to it. Not yet.
Marcus, meanwhile, did something a lot of people do without really noticing they're doing it. He replaced the furniture again, not because it broke, but because 5 years in, his taste had changed, and the couch had a stain he couldn't get out. Another $2,800 financed this time on a store card at 24.9% interest because the 12-month same-as-cash offer felt harmless. It wasn't. According to the Federal Reserve's 2024 consumer credit data, the average American carrying a revolving balance at that rate pays back roughly 1.4 times the original purchase price if they only make minimum payments. Marcus didn't do only minimums, he was better than that, but he still paid an extra $940 in interest chasing a couch he no longer has either, because 5 years after that, it went to the curb during a move. $4,600 plus $2,800 plus $940 in interest. That's $8,340 spent, replaced, and gone on furniture that's currently worth, generously, maybe $600 combined on Facebook Marketplace. Here's where I have to be honest with you. This next part actually annoyed me a little when I first ran it, because it's not dramatic, it's not a crash or a bad decision in some big cinematic sense. It's just nothing happened. Lisa didn't do anything either. She didn't add more money, she didn't rebalance, she didn't check the account more than maybe twice a year. The $5,000 just sat there in a fund, doing the thing index funds do while she lived her actual life completely unrelated to it. That's the whole strategy, doing nothing correctly for 11 years. If you've got a refund coming this year, or a bonus, or any lump sum that's about to land and already has a fun plan attached to it in your head, this is the part that should make you pause for 1 second before you spend it. Not because spending is wrong. Marcus needed furniture. He wasn't reckless. He just never ran the second half of the math. The part where the money he spent kept costing him, quietly, for years after the purchase was technically done. So here's the number. 11 years. Same $5,000. Same starting week. Lisa's Roth IRA from that single deposit, compounding at 10.1% annually with nothing else added, sits at $14,320 today. Marcus's furniture, the original set, the replacement set, the interest on the replacement set, cost him $8,340 total and is currently worth about $600. Run the full comparison, and the gap between them isn't the $9,320 difference in what they have now. It's bigger than that. Because Marcus's money is negative relative to where it started, he's down real dollars on an asset that's basically worthless, while Lisa's is up nearly threefold on a decision she made once and then ignored. Total swing between two people who got the identical amount of money in the same week, just over $22,000. Lisa's still not doing anything with that account, by the way. She hasn't added a dollar to it since that first deposit, which honestly is its own separate problem, because if she had, we'd be looking at a completely different number. That's a conversation for another day. Marcus, for what it's worth, just got his refund this year, $4,100. He hasn't spent it yet. We're going to check back in and see what he does with it.